From our Toronto studios, this is the Muslim News and Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aishah Ashraf. A pro-Israel vigil turns violent in Boulder. 6 elderly people injured in a suspected terror attack. The latest coming up next. In a historic win, Omar has been elected as the first Muslim mayor of Richardson, Texas. Omar defeated incumbent Bob Doobie with more than 54% of the vote in the May 3rd election. His victory marks a major milestone for Muslim representation in local government. Born in Milwaukee to a Palestinian father and Iranian mother, Omar has lived in Richardson for 20 years and previously served on the city council since 2009. His campaign focused on neighborhood revitalization and smart urban development. Omar acknowledged the pride his election brings to the Muslim community, but stressed that his leadership is driven by a vision for inclusive growth. Despite facing occasional religious bias, Omar received overwhelming community support. Observers say his win, alongside the re-election of another Muslim council member, signals a rising wave of political engagement among Muslim Americans in North Texas. A Muslim nurse in New Jersey has filed a federal lawsuit claiming he was fired for giving a Free Palestine sermon at a mosque. Khalil Adam, a longtime nurse and part-time imam, says Hackensack Meridian Health terminated him after his sermon drew online backlash. The speech, delivered at a Flanders mosque in August 2024, was shared by media watchdogs and criticized by pro-Israel groups. Adam says hospital executives coordinated with outside websites like Jihad Watch to brand him a danger. He was placed on leave and then fired in September, despite no charges being filed against him. The lawsuit alleges religious and political bias, saying others who voiced support for Israel were not punished. Adam accuses the hospital of violating civil rights laws and damaging his career and reputation. He is seeking lost wages, compensation, and a court declaration that his rights were violated. The hospital has declined to comment on the pending case. 6 elderly people aged between 67 and 88 were injured in a targeted attack during a pro-Israel vigil in Boulder, Colorado on Sunday. Authorities say the suspect, 45-year-old Muhammad Sabri Suleiman, used a makeshift flamethrower and threw an incendiary device into the crowd. Authorities say he was reportedly shouting "Free Palestine." One victim remains critically injured. Suleiman, an Egyptian national in the U.S. on an expired visa, was arrested without incident and taken to hospital with minor injuries. FBI officials are treating the incident as an act of terrorism, though local police say it is too early to determine a motive. Federal agents are leading the investigation, and Boulder's district attorney vowed to hold the attacker fully accountable. The FBI has urged anyone with tips to come forward. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals has blocked President Donald Trump's order to fire large numbers of federal workers and restructure agencies. The court said the move far exceeds presidential powers under the Constitution. The order, signed in February, was challenged by labor unions, advocacy groups, and several cities, including San Francisco and Chicago. The court said such major changes to the federal workforce require Congress's approval. The decision keeps in place an earlier ruling by a San Francisco judge. The Justice Department had asked for an emergency stay and also appealed to the Supreme Court. The coalition behind the lawsuit welcomed the ruling. They said Trump's plan already caused chaos in federal agencies and disrupted services. They said laying off staff and reorganizing without a clear plan hurts the public. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is sticking to its vaccine guidance for children as a new COVID subvariant spreads across several states. The CDC says kids aged 6 months and up can get vaccinated if parents and doctors agree. This opposes Health Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr.'s recent claim that COVID boosters are not backed by enough data for children or pregnant women. Experts warn that Kennedy's stance may confuse families and doctors. Still, the CDC's decision keeps vaccines available through federal programs and ensures insurance coverage. The new subvariant, NB1.8.1, is more contagious but not more deadly. It is now spreading in states such as California and New York. Doctors stress that vaccines are still vital, especially for pregnant women, infants, and young children who face higher risks from COVID. Experts say Kennedy's push to scale back vaccines is chilling and undermines public health. New Orleans welcomed back the skulls of 19 African Americans sent to Germany more than 140 years ago for racist scientific research. In the 1880s, Dr. Henry D. Schmidt, a local physician, shipped the skulls to Leipzig for phrenology studies, discredited research that linked skull shape to personality. Now, after decades in storage, German researchers from the University of Leipzig worked to return the remains. New Orleans honored them with a traditional jazz funeral. Historian Ava Baham, who helped lead the repatriation, said this is about restoring dignity. She believes those people died of natural causes, but their remains were taken without consent and used in dehumanizing studies. The return marks a symbolic step in confronting the racist legacy of science and colonialism. Saudi Arabia boosts security and services. This and more coming up next. U.S. immigration authorities are under fire for collecting DNA from migrant children and uploading it to a national criminal database. Government documents reveal that since 2020, Customs and Border Protection has added more than 1.5 million DNA profiles to the FBI's CODIS database, a 5,000% surge in just 3 years. Figures show that DNA was collected from more than 130,000 migrant teens and children, including some as young as 4 years. Most had not been charged with any crime. Experts call it a massive expansion of genetic surveillance and an unjustified invasion of privacy. The CBP claims it only collects DNA from detained migrants, but critics say the term detained is vague and loosely applied. The FBI stores this data indefinitely, raising concerns about its use and impact on immigrant communities. Georgetown University warns the practice reinforces harmful stereotypes and undermines public safety. The DNA program was launched quietly under a 2020 Justice Department rule. Israel killed at least 51 Palestinians and injured more than 500 in attacks across Gaza in the past 24 hours, according to the Palestinian Health Ministry. Israeli raids on Gaza have killed at least 38 Palestinians since Monday dawn, Al Jazeera reports. In Jabalia, an Israeli airstrike killed 16 people from one family. Other strikes killed civilians, medics, fishermen, and aid workers. Sunday's deadliest Israeli assault struck starving civilians waiting for food near aid centers in Rafah and Burej. Israeli forces reportedly opened fire and used drones on crowds gathered at U.S.-backed food distribution points, killing nearly 31 people and wounding 200. Witnesses describe scenes of chaos, with ambulances unable to reach victims due to ongoing gunfire. Some injured were carried away in carts. Israel has killed at least 49 Palestinians and injured more than 305 others near aid centers since the start of aid distribution on May 27th. The UN and aid agencies slammed Israel for using food as a weapon of war, warning of famine risks for Gaza's 2.4 million people. Israel's genocide in Gaza has killed more than 64,000 Palestinians since October 2023, mostly women, children, and the elderly. Gaza's health ministry reports 124,693 have been wounded in the same time period. Pakistan's Navy has wrapped up a 2-day exercise aimed at tackling unconventional threats at sea. The drill focused on countering sabotage, infiltration, and attacks targeting key ports and maritime infrastructure. Scenarios included simulated assaults to test rapid response, coordination, and defense readiness. Officials say the drill helped refine tactics to safeguard strategic maritime assets against non-traditional threats. Bangladesh's top court has reinstated the Jamaat-E-Islami party's registration, ending a decade-long legal battle. The Supreme Court directed the Election Commission to restore the party's status and election symbol. This paves the way for Jamaat to contest in the upcoming parliamentary polls. The party's registration was cancelled in 2013 during Sheikh Hasina's government. Hasina also banned Jamaat through an executive order in 2023 before being ousted and fleeing to India last August. The current transitional government, led by Muhammad Yunus, scrapped the ban earlier this year. Jamaat's lawyer hailed the court ruling as a win for multi-party democracy and called the earlier ban politically motivated. As the Hajj pilgrimage is heading to its peak, Makkah's Grand Mosque is overflowing. Hundreds of thousands of worshippers are performing rituals day and night. The influx has surged ahead of the Eid al-Adha holiday. The festival will be celebrated in Saudi Arabia and many parts of the world on Friday. More than 2 million Muslims from across the world have gathered this year. All wear simple white garments symbolizing unity and humility before God. Hajj is Islam's fifth pillar, obligatory for those able to perform it. The pilgrimage ends with Eid al-Adha, marked by the ritual animal sacrifice. It commemorates Prophet Ibrahim's unwavering faith in God. Saudi authorities have deployed extra security and logistics to manage the massive crowds. Experts say Islamic finance is entering a new era as cutting-edge technology reshapes traditional practices. Worth more than $2.7 trillion, the sector is growing fast and now going digital. Islamic fintech blends Sharia principles with innovation, offering mobile apps, paperless KYC, biometric ID checks, and virtual banking, all while avoiding interest and ensuring ethical investments. Blockchain is enabling smart contracts for profit sharing and simplifying sukuk or Islamic bonds, making transactions faster and more transparent. Crowdfunding platforms like Ethis in Indonesia and Beehive in the UAE are connecting halal investors with entrepreneurs using models in line with Islamic financial rules. AI is also revolutionizing compliance and customer service, screening investments faster than scholars and explaining Islamic finance through smart chatbots. Japanese scientists have developed a groundbreaking method to detect dangerous blood clots before they cause heart attacks or strokes. Using a high-speed microscope and artificial intelligence, researchers at the University of Tokyo can now monitor platelet activity in real time. Platelets are blood cells that help clot wounds, but in heart disease patients, they can dangerously clump together inside arteries. The new AI powder system works like a traffic camera, tracking blood cells in motion and identifying clots before they become deadly. It tests on more than 200 patients. The system detected more platelet clumps in those with severe heart conditions. It only requires a regular blood sample from the arm, avoiding risky procedures near the heart. Scientists believe this breakthrough could help doctors tailor treatment more safely and effectively for heart disease patients. That's all from our Toronto studios. Thank you for watching Muslim News. We are a community channel dedicated to bringing you stories you can trust. Please like, share, and subscribe to our content. You can also comment to let us know what you think of our coverage. You can donate now by visiting muslimnetwork.tv/donate. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV. Salam.